Welcome to our Halloween episode of California Cooking. Coming up, I get in the kitchen with an avid baker and maker of all things cool. He's the guy behind the Preppy Kitchen, and we get to go into his kitchen and make the coolest bat cake. Plus, this is the best dish to make before you go trick-or-treating. I make jack-o'-lantern stuffed peppers. And Chris Burrous takes us to the world's first frozen popcorn place. Finally, Levi and I get creative and we make bite-sized carameled apples. First up, my next guest used to be a middle school teacher and he got out of the classroom and into the world of being an influencer. He has hundreds of thousands of followers and he taught me how to make the coolest bat cake. Everybody meet Preppy Kitchen.
Well, hello.
John Kanell. Hi, John.
Thank you for coming over.
I'm so happy to be here.
I have a spooky time today.
I love Halloween. I can't even tell you how much it's my holiday. I think fall is when you just start wanting to get cozy, even though it's hot in LA and
Right.
a lot of times, but
Rank that AC up.
yeah.
Turn the fireplace on.
Absolutely. And you just start thinking about childhood stuff. That's what it does for me.
Right, and now that I have the kids, I have twins, they're 15 months old.
Oh.
So now everything, all the holidays are like coming to life
Yeah.
in a way that like had kind of faded away as I'd gotten old.
It's true. I mean, even though they're 16 months old, you're gonna show them what Halloween's all about this year. They're
Right.
gonna know. Your story's great because Preppy Kitchen, you're wearing your J. Crew plaid.
Yes, how did you know?
But how did you come up with the idea for Preppy Kitchen?
Well, for the name, aside from I used to sport like the bow ties,
Did you really?
the works. But so many people get really frustrated when they bake.
Yeah.
And it's because they're not prepared. It's not because they can't do it or because the recipe usually is like crazy. They just don't have the right tools. They're trying to on the fly figure out a fix.
Yeah.
Being prepared.
I get
in the
it,
kitchen.
John, I get it.
And then so it was a play on words.
Yeah, so we're gonna make a cake for starters, and this cake is super cute because you've done these little bats. I smell spices, I smell the
Right.
allspice, the cinnamon,
This is like a
the
pumpkin pie cake, basically. So this recipe is super easy.
Okay,
We're gonna do a dry mixture,
Yeah.
sift it all together, a wet mixture, whisk it all together, and just use a hand whisk to bring
Okay,
it all together.
yeah.
You could use a standing mixer, you could use an electric mixer, but less dishes.
I
right?
like that. I'm with you on the less dishes. And the fact that you're even baking when you have two twins over here in the other
Yeah.
room, I mean, I give you credit just for that.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. It's
Okay.
bat cake.
Bad cake.
Yeah.
So we're starting off with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use cake flour, but all-purpose is totally
Okay.
fine.
But I gotta tell everybody, John was a math teacher in middle school. So I feel like there's, when it comes to measurements, because baking is a perfect science, really.
Yeah.
And I think that taps into
I've
that.
been having
love of
recipes and using fractions in real life. You know, the
See, kids, know your
need
fractions.
to use it.
Okay, so
Okay.
after the flour,
1 teaspoon of baking soda,
Mm-hmm.
2 teaspoons of baking powder, we have a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon.
healthy
Not
dose
the
right
cinnamon
there.
sticks, ground. And then we have, can you tell what this is?
That looks like allspice.
It's nutmeg.
It's a nutmeg, okay.
But guess what's next door?
Allspice.
So we have half a teaspoon of allspice, half a teasppoon of ginger, spicy,
is liquid.
nice pinch of cloves. Some
Okay.
people are really anti-clove, leave it out.
Okay.
Give it a sift.
So we've got our ingredients sifted and whisked.
Yeah, good job. So we can set this aside now and then do our wet ingredients.
Okay.
What we have here is half a cup of coconut oil, then we have a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil,
Okay.
a 1/4 cup of yogurt.
Ah,
So this is a moist cake. You can
Yeah.
do sour cream if you want.
gives it a little tang.
A little tang, yeah.
Nice.
And now we have 4 room temperature eggs.
Okay.
Always want to make sure the room temperature pop. A nice teaspoon of vanilla. Now for our magical pumpkin.
Okay.
Canned pumpkin is fine. Last thing is our 1.5 cup of granulated sugar.
Okay.
Pop that in there. And now we're gonna give this a nice whisk.
Back at whisking
Back on
duty,
whisking
you got it. Let's get you the biceps. After I saw the babies, you're getting your workout. You're feeding those babies. They are adorable.
So much. And now, wet to dry, dry to wet. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. So we're just gonna pop it in.
Do you want me to do this
Yeah,
as
that's
you
great.
dump? Okay.
So just shimmy that in. I can take over and give it a
Yeah,
power
give it a
whisk.
good. It tastes good.
Gonna eyeball it. 3 equal batches. And you can move the batter around back and forth.
Yeah, in
It's-
case you mess it up. we could fix it. What are these?
They
It looks like a dog leash.
These are cake strips, and what they do is they cool the edge of the pan during baking so the cake bakes evenly.
So you don't get the crispy.
You're not going to get a crispy hard edge. So we're going to pop these into the oven at 350 for about 30-35 minutes.
There we go. Oh, that's what every baker wants.
I know, it makes me so happy when I get a perfect release.
And you didn't even have to run the knife around the edge?
No.
Beauties.
Yay, okay. Now we're gonna be icing these with a browned butter vanilla frosting. Right, we're ready to ice.
We have dual piping bags.
Dual piping bag, cakes are room temperature.
Yeah.
And I'll do the first layer, you do the second layer. We're just gonna give it a nice thick layer of buttercream in between.
This is a professional move right here.
So easy though, right? Like that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, so
but first of all, can I just tell all of you that that icing with the brown butter,
I made a big batch,
ridiculous.
so
Maybe you spin for me.
Spinning.
No, no, it's not working.
Look, no, it looks the same. Don't worry. Perfect.
Look, okay, look at mine and look at John's. What is that? Ah, boy.
Spin that up and then.
See.
Perfect.
Can we show you what it looks like when you do all 3 layers?
TV magic.
And you do your crumb coat. But it's not, I mean, that's more than a crumb coat. That looks perfect.
What we're gonna do now is add on a final shell of an orange ombre
Yes.
Italian meringue buttercream.
This is where things get Halloweeny.
Great.
I see what we're doing. So this is the finished, well, before we put the bats on, this looks great.
So now it's time for our finishing touch.
Look at all the bats. This is so cool because I thought, well, how did you freehand these bats?
I didn't.
And you made a stencil, it's so smart.
Yeah. All you have to do is get a printout. You can do any shape you want. I did a version of this with snowflakes too for Christmas. So then you're gonna put the stencil underneath some waxed paper or parchment paper, and then just trace it with candy melt.
Okay.
You can use chocolate if you want, but candy melt is like a foolproof.
Here's some candy melts just to show you. So candy melts, you get them at a baking goods store.
Amazon.
Or Amazon. They come in all the colors and they just are easier to use,
Just
right?
microwave them, don't have to worry about burning them, and
these are black.
they're black candy melts, perfect for Halloween.
Look at all the bats. This is so cool. Look at that, that looks so great. And just wherever. John, this is too cute to cut into. Ta-da!
So, what do you think?
Best bat cake I've ever seen. I love it, John. It's beautiful, and then you can think of all the different fun variations for the holidays. And there's brown butter icing underneath. Come on. Too cute to eat. Not only was that cake beautiful, but it was delicious. That brown butter icing, oh, it was so good. And if you want to know how to make John's witch hat cupcakes, go to KTLA.com. Coming up, Chris Burrous takes us to a spot that's serving up over 50 different flavors of frozen popcorn. We're talking birthday cake, baconlicious, cheesy, and more. Then Levi and I get into the Halloween spirit and make bite-sized caramel apples. But first, I make festive stuffed peppers. That's coming up next. Whether you're looking for a fun meal before you go trick-or-treating or a great dish to bring to a Halloween party, these stuffed jack-o'-lantern peppers are so easy and delicious. Okay, Levi and I are in the kitchen making dinner. So usually I don't have him right here cooking because he loves the kitchen. But if you want to be fast, it's hard to have a toddler in the kitchen. But for fun today, we're gonna make a little something. And I thought this would be really fun for Halloween because I've always been so into Halloween. I remember as a kid, I couldn't wait, like when I got home from school and I couldn't wait to get dressed in my costume. And my mom would always make kind of fun dinners. And so that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna do a stuffed pepper. But get a load of this. My little stuffed peppers are jack-o'-lanterns. pumpkins. So I'm gonna stuff them, put them in the oven, and then, how cute is that? Levi, look. What is this? Are you gonna peel the garlic? It's a jack-o'-lantern. Oh, okay. See, he's not impressed, which is what mothers everywhere feel. You do something and you think they're gonna care and they don't. I'm gonna make a pretty easy filling, and this is something really you could, do any which way for your family. Whatever kind of ingredients, whatever kind of meat you like, it's really simple. Gonna just put a little bit of olive oil in the pan and get chopping on stuff. And I think with a stuffed pepper, that's a great way to get veggies into your kids. I'm gonna put all kinds of vegetables in here. I'm gonna get some onion, and I'm gonna add zucchini, carrots, corn, garlic, all kinds of veggies. I just do a really quick chop, and while I'm doing this, I have the oven at 375. In goes the onion. Some salt, a little kosher salt. I've got a zucchini, okay? Up and all that fun stuff. Pepper. I'm gonna let the zucchini and onion go for a little bit before I add shredded carrots, and I have some corn off the cob, but you could do frozen corn. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce to kind of moisten it up, and a little cooked rice. I'm gonna add in the corn, and I always have shredded carrots in the fridge, and I add them into everything. I just kind of sneak them in. I'm gonna let that cook for a little bit. Okay, so we lost Levi. My sous chef is done. He was bored, so he went off and ate a popsicle. But we're gonna finish up with the zucchini, the onion, the corn, the carrot, and I went ahead and sauteed it with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and I'm gonna transfer it out of the skillet to cook the turkey, because I just like sauteing meat separate from the veggies. I think it gives you the chance to brown the meat, because when you cook meat with the veggies, all the liquid keeps the meat from browning. And I have turkey meat. You could do beef, whatever you want, but I did a little turkey. Salt. And I always feel like it needs more salt than you'd think. So I go pretty heavy on the salt. Some pepper. I'm also gonna do some smoked paprika. Just a little bit. I love, paprika. It's from a pepper, but it's not at all spicy. And then smoked paprika has that smokiness that really, I think, adds so much flavor to a dish. The turkey is browned. The veggies are browned. I'm gonna add everything back together. So you got the zucchini, the carrots, the onion, the corn. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce in the can. This is gonna give it some moisture so it doesn't get too dry when it bakes in the oven. And I'm gonna start with half a can just to see if that's enough moisture, because we're also gonna add some rice. I would say that's a half a cup of cooked rice. And we're gonna do the garlic, 2 cloves, a clove of garlic. You can turn the heat off. Give it a stir. See how the liquid content is. You might, at this point, want to add a little bit more of the tomato. It smells good. The garlic is nice and warmed up in the pan. Okay, so let's clear the decks. And let me show you how we're going to stuff our cute jack-o'-lantern. Okay, so what I do is you take the orange bell pepper and you take a sharp, this is just like a, little steak knife, and you just cut out the jack-o'-lantern face. So I just did eyes and a mouth. You just freestyle it. You cut off the top, but you save the top. You scoop out, any of the seeds. And then you've got these cute little jack-o'-lanterns with their little top. We're gonna stuff them. Now we stuff. I'm gonna take some Monterey Jack, any cheese you like, and top our pumpkin peppers. All right, and then let's see which top fits with which. All right, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of water because I don't want them to stick to the bottom of the baking dish. So I'm gonna just add a tiny bit just so that the bottom is covered with water. It'll help them steam, cook the peppers a little, and then they won't stick. Bye, my little pumpkins. Our jack-o'-lantern pumpkins are ready. They've been in the oven about 20 minutes. And because everything was cooked on the inside, they're good to go. Let's find the cutest one. A little tricky getting him out. Okay. Ta-da! There's our little jack-o'-lantern Pepper. And I have just a little spinach salad. How cute! Don't you think the kids would love that on Halloween night? So good, and even Levi liked them. Coming up, Chris Burrous gets to taste frozen popcorn for the very first time. We'll see what he thinks about it. And Levi and I get into the Halloween spirit. We're making mini carameled apples. That's coming up next. Chris Burrous gets to try out all the coolest spots thanks to our KTLA viewers, and this one, no exception. It's the world's first ever frozen popcorn spot. Take a look.
Got this email from Yvette, says, meet me for frozen popcorn? Frozen popcorn? We're here at Mad Poppers in West Hills. Let's go inside. Yvette, hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Frozen popcorn, are you crazy?
Yes, it's the best thing. That's what I thought too the first time. I actually saw the sign, I'm like, what is frozen popcorn? I came in, it was almost 3 years ago, and I've been a customer ever since, and I tell everybody about this place.
I love
Bring all my friends and family here.
Let's give it
and
a
they
try.
love it, yay!
Welcome to California Mad Poppers. How can I help you guys?
I'm gonna do what's on the wall over there. The Elvis. Peanut butter, bacon, banana, and caramel.
Yeah, perfect. Let's try the Aztec Gold.
Back in the kitchen, who's making these crazy flavors? The man with the Mad Popper tattoo, who just happens to be the great-grandnephew of legendary silent film star Lon Chaney from The Man of the Thousand Faces. It's all air-popped, keeping it light and open to receive flavor. And it's about to get blasted with flavor. You never see caramel made like this anymore. So simple, real, handmade, no preservatives or sprays. It's even non-GMO.
Have the Aztec Gold.
My favorite. So airy.
Oh,
Isn't that good?
oh,
It kicked in.
Ooh, man, you do like it hot.
I like it hot.
There's one rule about this stuff that you have.
Eat it cold. It's best cold. It keeps it crisp and cool and chilly. So I love it cold.
Elvis?
First, I like it's cold. It's not hard. Oh, caramel. Hello, banana. Hello, banana.
Everything, a lot of banana.
This is like in Willy Wonka, the one flavor after another. Our total for our 2 regular-sized bags, $12, and we're good to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
How cool. I really want to try that. And guess what? Just in time for Halloween, they have the oh-so-corny frozen popcorn. You guessed it, popcorn with candy corn. Onto a fun way to entertain the kids this time of year, Levi and I get crafty with carameled apples. Are you excited for Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna make a little Halloween snack. Mini carameled apples. What are these?
Caramel apples.
Yeah, I took really easy. So you take a big apple, because a big apple is a little too big. You know, sometimes you just want to bite, you don't want the whole thing. So you take a melon baller and you just take a big apple, you peel it, and you just make all these little melon balls out of apple. And then you got minis, and I bought little lollipop sticks and we stuck them in the apple. Okay, so now here's the fun part. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna dunk. We're gonna dunk it in the caramel. And then Levi, you picked out, I have to say, Levi's the one who picked out all the toppings. What's this? Colored sprinkles.
Color sprinkle.
Little candies. And then we got those little tiny round ones in purple, green, and blue. What's this?
Sprinkles.
It looks like hair. It looks like green hair. And then some Heath bar, whatever toppings you want. And then we're gonna dunk it in the caramel and dip it into the toppings. Oh, this is a fun one, Levi. What are these? What do they look like? Eyeballs.
eyeballs.
They look like little eyeballs, so we could do that too. Is that fun?
Yeah.
What are you dressed up as?
Spider-Man.
You're Spider-Man?
Mom's Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man? What are you gonna be for Halloween?
Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man 2? I love that idea. Okay, I'm gonna take our mini apples. It's gonna be a little messy. So I just bought the caramel that you get at the store that's in the little cellophane wrapper. That's how my mom did it growing up. You could make your own caramel. But I just went ahead and bought it and melted it on the stove. So you kind of have to work quickly, but you could always stick it back in the microwave for 30 seconds to loosen it up. Okay, Levi, so we're gonna dunk, and then you pick your sprinkle. Okay, ready? Dunk it. Dunk it. Oh, yeah. Okay, now pick which one. Which sprinkle?
Ow.
It's hot, honey. Mommy forgot to tell you. Wait. It's hot.
Ouch. Ouch.
Okay, don't burn your child. Don't burn your child during the process. Okay, Mama got it. Ta-da! There you go. And then you stick it back on here and we let it dry. Want to do another one? Okay, don't burn yourself. Talking about what you say when you go to the door on Halloween. What do you say when you...
Diggity.
What?
Candy.
Trick or treat candy. Which color should I go? Which one should I do? Green hair. Yeah. Look how fun. I don't think you've ever had a carameled apple. This is gonna be a treat. Cheers. Can you say Happy Halloween?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you, helper. And here's a tip. Remind your kids the caramel's hot before you dip. That does it for us. Happy Halloween.
We're sleeping. Doesn't go in my mouth. Sticky.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.